Chapter 1 Song of the Ancient Times. The world of Valerian was once united by the breath of dragons. Over the peaks of the silver mountains, golden sky lords soared through the clouds, while elven songs rang like crystal chimes in the forests of Laertiriel. Humans lived in the stone kingdoms, where knights kept sacred oaths under the watch of high castle towers. But everything changed when the Dragonheart vanished, a crystal forged by the gods themselves, in an age when light and shadow first began dividing the world. It held the balance of the elements. Without it, magic grew wild, the dragons disappeared, and the elves withdrew into the shaded lands. 3 centuries passed. Chapter 2 The Boy with the Mark of Flame. In a village at the foot of the mountains, a boy named Ardin was born. On his chest burned a birthmark in the shape of a dragon's wing. From an early age, he heard voices when gazing at the stars, and fire stirred in his blood when anger took him. People feared him. Only the village blacksmith, a former knight of the Order of the Flame-Bound Shield, took him in and trained him in the sword and in old forgotten tales. At 16, Ardin dreamed of a blazing temple and heard a voice whisper, "You are the heir of flame. Rise, the heart awaits you." He awoke breathless, the mark on his chest glowing red-hot beneath his shirt. The fire was calling him. He knew then his life in the village was over. His destiny lay far beyond the familiar woods and rivers. He had to follow the fire, even if it meant walking into legend. Chapter 3 The Road to Laertiriel. The sky over the north was heavy with clouds, and only a pale moon pierced through them as Ardin left his village behind. He didn't know exactly where his path led, but the fire within him whispered, "East, to the forest," the maps call Laertiriel, but which the legends name the Song of Leaves. The encounter with Aivira. On the 3rd day, Ardin came upon the ruins of a shrine. Among fallen columns carved with vines and wings, he heard a voice, light as the wind. "You walk land that no longer welcomes your kind, human. Why are you here?" A figure emerged from the shadows. She had skin that glowed like moonstone, hair flowing like silver silk, and eyes as deep as the midnight sky. In her hand, she held a curved elven blade. This was Aivira, an elf from the exiled house of Moon Branches. Her clan was banished for refusing the High Council's command to abandon the surface world when magic began to fade. She remained because she believed someday magic would return and dragons would once again spread their wings. She noticed the mark on Ardin's chest, a dragon wing glowing through the fabric. "You bear the sign, the one lakes whisper of and mountains remember. I will walk with you." Through the Whisper's Womp, their path led through the Whisper's Womp, a cursed mire where shadows take the form of loved ones and lead travelers to sink in silence. One night, weary and starving, Ardin heard his mother's voice. He nearly stepped into the bog when Aivira struck the water with a glowing arrow. Remember this, Ardin. What feels familiar is not always kind, and true kindness can feel cruel. There they were attacked by shadow wolves, beasts born of fear and forgotten pain. They moved soundlessly, their eyes dim stars. For the first time, Ardin unleashed the fire inside him. Flames burst from his palms and scorched the beasts back into the mist. The Tower of Morgulin. At the edge of the swamp stood a crumbling tower, overgrown with vines and glowing runes. It was once the sanctuary of Magister Morgulin, a mage who had vanished after betraying the council. Inside, mirrors covered the walls, each one reflecting a lost memory or buried truth. In a chamber with round windows and a throne made of obsidian glass, they found a manuscript written in the ancient elemental tongue. Using Aivira's amulet, they translated it. The Dragonheart is not lost. It is hidden within the blood-bound threshold. It is guarded not by man or beast, but by a shadow that once was light. His name forgotten, they called him Ardin. He seeks not life, but dominion, and he stirs the one who sleeps beneath the roots of the world. Targmaran, the eater of time. Ardin clutched his chest as the mark burned. He collapsed and saw a vision of a blazing temple at the edge of the world. Inside it, he stood holding a sword whose blade breathed flame. End of the chapter. Aivira and Ardin understood the true journey had just begun. Their next destination, the blood-bound threshold, where the Dragonheart was hidden and an ancient threat waited to awaken. But before they could reach it, they needed allies. Their path now led to Hargrim, the Stone Kingdom, where a silent king ruled and swords had long gathered dust, but where the truth might still burn in the heart of an old warrior.